Hi, welcome to the orientation for the online section of Beginning Algebra. My name is Jenny Joa, and I'll be your instructor for the course. I'm going to begin by taking you through the syllabus for the course. The syllabus can be found right now on D2L, Brightspace, but also you will be able to find it in my math lab, which I'll explain later. This class, like I said, is an online section of Beginning Algebra, which is Math 1500. This course will primarily be done online, and there will be 2 mandatory paper pencil in class days, and those are June 25th and July 23rd from 4 to 7 p.m. We will meet in room H217 for those 2 test dates. As I've already mentioned, my name is Jenny Joa. My email address is listed on the syllabus. Please, when you email me, in the subject line, could you put Math 1500 online so I know that it is coming from my online students. In this course, for the online component, we'll be going to this email address, pearsonmylab and mastering.com. As far as a book, the textbook is optional. You do not need to purchase a hard copy of the textbook. You will have an e-copy located in my math lab. Another thing you'll need is a My Math Lab ID to get you specifically to the course that I've prepared for this section, and that is this one, JOA 04992. And we'll come back to that in a little bit. As far as what we'll be covering in this course, I'm not going to read all of this word for word. I just want to start by saying that this course includes practical applications of basic algebra, starting with sign numbers through solving and graphing equations. These are both linear and quadratic equations, plus we'll do solving systems of equations and formulas with applied problems. And like I said, the specific goals, you can read through those on your own. As far as the grading, there will be a few different things that you are graded on. The largest portion of your grade will be on the tests. There will be 2 tests. As I stated, those 2 tests will be on June 25th and July 23rd. I just wanted to double check those dates. And those are 200 points apiece, so a total of 400 points. There is also homework that you will do each week, worth a total of 59 points. There are quizzes that you will do online, notebook checks, and test reviews, and all of these will be explained in more detail in a few minutes. As far as the grading scale that I use, 90 to 100% is an A, 80 to 90% is a B, 70 to 80% is a C. You do need at least a C or better in this class if you plan to go on to Math 1700. As I've already explained, what we'll be doing is we'll be using my math lab as the resource for the online portion of this course. To get to my math lab, on the syllabus, I've given you some directions here. The website is listed. You'll go on and register as a student. It'll ask you for the instructor's course ID. That is listed here on your syllabus. You'll be asked to sign in, and you can just follow the directions that I have listed right here. When it does ask you for an email address, I suggest that you use your email address that you use most often. It does not need to be your Hennepin Tech email address. Just use your Hotmail or Yahoo or whatever it is that you use most often. And in just a few minutes, I'm going to bring you over to my math lab so you can see a little bit what this looks like. But let me go on to just the method of instruction first before I pop over into the My Math Lab. The method of instruction, as far as, like I said, this is an online course. There is no in-class lecture or anything like that that takes place. You will be going into My Math Lab. You can read the sections in the textbook using either if you purchase a hard copy or the electronic version. Most of the sections in the textbook are also accompanied with a video lecture, PowerPoint presentation, sometimes some animation or tutorials explaining the topics. You're encouraged to, utilize all of those different options. Another thing I will be providing you with are my class or chapter notes that I use for my lecture classes. So these will be located under document sharing. There's both a blank and then a completed form of the notes for you to review. Hopefully then, after you've gone through the material for each section, then you'll be ready for the homework. And there's a homework assignment that must be done online. You will have an opportunity to redo the homework, and I'll explain this too in more detail, but you'll have an opportunity to redo the homework over and over till it's 100% correct, or until we have the date of the test. Once we have the date of the test, then the homework for that section is shut off. After you complete the homework, there are quizzes. Pretty much there's a couple quizzes each week that you'll need to do. You'll have the opportunity to take the quizzes up to 3 times before submitting them for a grade. There will be reviews or practice tests that you'll complete prior to each test date. You can also use the test preparation videos that you find in the My Math Lab. And then tests will be taken in class or at a pre-approved proctor setting. At this time, I'd like to bring you over to another document, which is the schedule for this course, and then also introduce you to the My Math Lab website. So first of all, over on the right here, I have the schedule for the course that you'll follow. And this schedule is in the D2L Brightspace, but it'll also be located in My Math Lab under document sharing. So as you can see at the beginning, it again has the course name. Some quiz dates and test dates are all listed there. But primarily what you'll do is go down, and each week is listed. So the first week of the course, which starts June 4th and will go till June 11th, in the middle is the sections that you'd like to cover. And these are the sections that need to be covered from the book. So you can do that by either reading the hard copy of the book, going through the online version, looking through the notes, all of those different things that I mentioned earlier. Each week there are quite a few topics to make sure that you go through and cover. So, it is going to require quite a bit of time. Make sure you do schedule yourself for that. In this first week, it's all of Chapter 1 and all of Chapter 2 that you'll be going through. As far as the assignments for each week are listed on the right. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is set up the My Math Lab. So you'll go into My Math Lab and you'll get registered, as you can see over on the left here. You'll do that first, and then I want to make sure that you run the browser check to make sure that you have everything up to date on your computer, and watch the How to Enter Answer videos. After that, as far as the homework for the first week, it is all of these different pieces listed here. So section 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and so on. And there are homework pieces from each of these sections that you should be doing in the first week. By June 11th, which is at the end of the first week, you should also have completed quiz for Chapter 1 and the quiz for Chapter 2. Now this is just a very quick overview of the schedule, so then you can see as you go on to week 2, that's going to take you into Chapters 3 and the beginning of Chapter 4. The homework is listed here again on the right, along with the quizzes that need to be due by the end of that week. Keep going on in the schedule. Week 3, there's a little bit of material to do to finish up Chapter 4 and begin Chapter 5. And then mainly what you're going to be doing that week is to prepare for the test. So the sections for the homework that you need to do are on the right. There's one quiz for that week, and then you'll need to do the review for the test. Work on finishing up any homework assignments that you did not have 100% on, and be prepared for the test, which is on June 25th. So I just wanted to quickly kind of show you what the schedule looks like, but I want to go away from that for a while to introduce you to the My Math Lab website. So I'm going to close this one here and open the My Math Lab website a little bit larger. The very first time when you go into the My Math Lab website, you're going to do Register Now, and you're registered as a student. It's going to make sure that you have these 3 different things. One of them is an email address, so like I said, just use your email address that you use most frequently. Course ID, and that is listed on your syllabus. That's the JOA with the numbers that follow it. As far as an access code, you will need an access code eventually, but at this time, what I'd like you to do is to just use the free trial period. Start off with the free trial period. Get started in the course, make sure that it's right for you, and then you can purchase the access code either at the bookstore, or you'll see there's a place to purchase it directly online at the MyMathLab website, or some students choose to go to other sites like Amazon or College Books or something like that. So when you go to register now, it's taking a little bit of time here, but that's where it'll ask you to put in your course ID and get registered, and you can follow the directions that I gave you on the syllabus. But I'm not going to spend too much time going through that right now. Please email me if you have any concerns, but I'm going to back up and show you mainly what the MyMathLab site looks like. I'm back up another page. I'm going to sign myself in. Oh, while I'm on this first page, let me just go down to the very bottom here. If at any point in time when you're using MyMathLab, if you're having some technical difficulties with MyMathLab, there's some places on your main page that you can locate this, but on the first page here, at the very bottom left, there's a place called Student Support. You can go to Student Support and then push 24/7 technical support, and they will connect you with online with a representative from the Pearson MyMathLab company to help you with whatever your issue is. Okay, so now when I go to sign in, after you've registered, you are going to have a username and password that you use. Once you sign in, over on the left-hand side will be the courses that you have in MyMathLab. Now, I have quite a few of them listed here because these are the different courses that I'm teaching either currently this summer or have taught this spring. You will only have this one class listed. Most of you will only have this one class listed, which is Math1500 Beginning Algebra Online. All you need to do is just push on that. And it'll bring you to the page for the course, Beginning Algebra Online. All of these that have the little computer crossed out, you don't have those on your screen. That's just because I'm the instructor. I have those listed. So on your screen, you will just have Course Home, which is this page, Homework, which is where you'll go to do the homework, Quizzes, which is where you'll go to access the quizzes, the Multimedia Library, Course Tools, and Gradebook, which I'll explain each of those in just a few minutes. Let me start off with actually the Multimedia Library. When I go to Multimedia Library, this is where I can get the textbook. So this up here in the corner you can see is the textbook that we're using. And if you want to go and read certain pages from the textbook, you can just type Multimedia Textbook, select the chapter that you want to go to, and it'll bring you and open up right to those pages in the textbook. But if you want more than that, let's say you're going over chapter 1. You just select chapter 1. You can do select all if you would like, so animation, PowerPoint, video lectures, multimedia textbook. And when you push Find Now, it'll give you all of the resources for chapter 1. So depending on what you feel is the best way for you to learn the material, there are various animations. The textbook has each section listed here, so you can go through and read on those. There are PowerPoints. There are lecture videos provided by the publisher for each of the different sections. So if you'd like to watch some or all of those, that can help you to review the material. So for each chapter, those are listed, and that's one of the resources that you'll use to help you learn and understand the material. Okay, so that is the Multimedia Library. The homework, when you go to homework, not sure why that came up. One of the first things you're going to want to do is watch the How to Enter Answers video. If you've taken a MyMathLab course before, that may not be necessary, but for the rest of you, I think it's beneficial that you watch this and you learn how to use the different aspects of the MyMathLab functions. Beyond that, the homework is all listed here. So as you saw in week 1 of the homework, let me just pull that up again for you quickly here. In week 1 of the homework, you were to do all of these different sections, 1.1 all the way through 1.9, and then 2.1 all the way through 2.6. So underneath the homework here, back on MyMathLab, it would be all of these different sections that you should complete within the first week. After that, and you can see the homework continues for week 2 and so on. On the schedule, in addition to the homework, there were quizzes that were listed. The quizzes can be accessed by going over here on the left to this column, left column, and accessing the quizzes. There are various quizzes that are listed. First one is quiz 1 for chapter 1, quiz 2 for chapter 3, and so on. So those are the main different pieces that you'll need to use within MyMathLab. There's the course home, homework, quizzes, multimedia library. Oh, one other piece. In addition to that, the course tools. Let me show you that one. The course tools, as you can see, has an arrow next to it. You can expand that. One of the first things listed is the document sharing, and the second thing is email. If you want to email myself or anyone else in the course, you can just go to email and all of us will be listed there. But the main piece that I wanted to show you here was the document sharing, so I'm going to push on that. Under document sharing, on the main page, I have the syllabus listed here and the course schedule. Not sure why I have an extra syllabus there. I will have to delete that one. But the other thing is up here I have chapter notes, completed chapter notes, and the test reviews. So these chapter notes and completed chapter notes are the ones, like I said, that I use in my in-class lecture class. And so if you'd like to read over those and see, you know, exactly what it is and how things are written out and explained each week, you can look at those. And then this third thing here, the test reviews, that's where you can go to, that's where you'll need to go actually. Let me pull it up. Well, not at this time, I won't pull it up, but that's where you'll go to print out the test reviews prior to each test. Okay, let me head back to homework here. Even though you'll be watching the How to Enter Answers video, I just want to pull up one of the homework assignments so that you can see exactly what they look like and I can explain a couple of the pieces. So I'm going to pull up this section 1.3. In section 1.3, you can see that there are 10 questions listed there. I'm just going to pick one of the questions here. How about question 5? Question 5 is asking us to multiply. Now hopefully you've either read over the textbook or watched some of the videos as to how to do this. But if at any point you get stuck, there are the resources that are listed over on the right. There's something that says help me solve this, where they can walk you through an explanation of how to solve the problem. You can view an example, so they'll give you a sample problem. There's a video on how to solve this type of problem. Or if you go to textbook, it'll open the textbook to the pages where this topic is covered in the textbook. If you've tried all of those things and you're still very confused on the problem, another option is Ask My Instructor. And what it'll do is it'll send an email directly to me with this question listed. Besides just sending me the question, I do expect, though, that you are going to put some sort of explanation, such as, you know, this is what I've tried, I've done this, this is what I got for an answer, and it's still not working. Okay, what I want to do here is I'm going to show you. I'm going to type in an answer here, and I'm just going to make something up like that answer. When you put an answer in there, oops, I did not mean for that to come up. When you put an answer in here, the first thing you want to do is check the answer. It explains to you that, whoops, that's not correct, and an explanation of a little bit of how to do the problem. Okay, once you're done, you can try another time. Okay, let's say this time I'm going to put in 64. Check the answer. Nope, still not correct. I'm going to try it again. Let me put in a couple more numbers. It says final check down here. So I'm going to do that final check, and it says no. Actually, the answer was negative 280. At this point in time, it appears like I got the problem wrong. However, I do have an opportunity to go back and correct the problem by just typing similar exercise. What it'll do, it'll give me another problem very similar to the one that I've already done. I'm going to look at this one real quickly and see if I can get the answer. Let's see. It looks like it's a negative. I'm going to try 360. Just doing this quickly. I did get it correct. Good job. I push OK, and you can see up here it turns it into a check. So hopefully what you do is you go through and you get the green checks for all the problems, and there's absolutely no reason that you shouldn't end up getting 100% on your homework as long as you do them all and you continue to correct them. Do I want to leave the page? Yes, I do. Okay, so I think I've shown you some of the basics here of the My Math Lab. At this time, I'm going to take us back to the syllabus. So I'm going to shut My Math Lab, and we're just going to walk through the syllabus a little more. So we've talked about the method of instruction. Next is homework assignments. There are a lot of homework assignments, as you've seen in the My Math Lab. A lot of practice. That's what math is. You know, I can show you, the book can kind of explain to you how to do some of the problems, but it takes a lot of practice over and over and over to make sure that it's something that you completely understand. So these assignments are done in the My Math Lab under the homework section. The homework is assigned throughout the course. To stay on pace, what you'll want to do is complete the homework that's listed under the dates. So for each week, make sure you go through and do those homework. However, the assignments will remain open until the end of the unit or until the day of the test. So you'll have the opportunity to go back and make changes and corrections until the day of the test. Cutoff date and time for the assignments is listed down below. So June 25th, which is the first test. I don't know why that keeps popping up. The first test is June 25th at 4 p.m. and that covers sections 1.1 through 5.3. Okay, then the homework for that first half of the course will be shut off, and then you'll begin to work on the next. As far as your homework assignments, you do not need to send me anything or turn anything in. I am able to obtain your scores directly from My Math Lab or Course Compass, same idea. So you do not need to hand in anything to me. For the quizzes, there are 11 4-point quizzes throughout the course to be completed. 60 minutes are allotted for each attempt. You'll have the opportunity to take the quizzes up to 3 times. So if on your first attempt you have some errors, go back, review the material. Try to figure out what it was that you were having some difficulty with, and do all of that prior to retaking the quiz. Due dates for the quizzes are listed, and those are very specific due dates. There's pretty much 2 quizzes that are due each week. And for any quiz that's not submitted on time, you will receive a grade of a 0 for that quiz regardless of the reason. For the quizzes, another thing that I'm going to ask you to do is to have a notebook. So have a notebook or a 3-ring binder that you have available for the course, so that when you do the online quizzes, I am expecting you to write down the problem and all of your work for each problem in the quizzes. So you'll show all of your work for each quiz problem, and you'll be hopefully ready to turn that in on the date of the test. Another thing I say here is do not wait until the assigned due date to do all of your homework and quizzes. Schedule yourself some time each day to do all of that. As for the notebook, I have some notebook guidelines that I've listed here. I want you to work out each quiz problem in your notebook. There will be 2 notebook checks, and they'll be conducted on the days of the tests, which are June 25th and July 23rd. The notebook checks will be worth a total of 11 points based on the work shown for each quiz problem. So I explain here, what it is that you need: a spiral notebook or a 3-ring binder, something to write with. Keep it neat and well organized. Each quiz then we'll start on a new page, label it. The problems should be numbered. Write out each problem and show all of your work, and make sure there's space for every problem. Besides the homework, the quizzes, and the notebook, another thing that you're graded on are the unit reviews. The unit reviews are something that will help to prepare you for the tests. I will type up and have numerous problems available for you to practice that'll be very similar to the ones that you'll see on the test. So the unit review will be located in the My Math Lab under document sharing. They'll be worth 5 points. To get those 5 points, you do need to show all of your work for the unit reviews, and they must be handed in prior to taking the test, so you'll bring them with you on test days. I know they're not worth a lot of points, but they're very valuable. If you go through and you do the unit reviews, they will really help to prepare you for the test. Because like I said, I do put a lot of problems on there that are very similar to the problems that you will see on the test. As for the test, we're just about done here. It's getting close. The unit tests days are listed there. They'll be given at the end of each unit. There's actually, like I said, 2 tests, so I break it into 2 units. Please prepare for the test by doing all the assignments, the quizzes, the review materials. Do everything you can to get yourself ready, because there are no retakes on the tests. I give you 1 chance and that's it. Hopefully you do your work and prepare yourself ahead of time for the tests. Every effort should be made to be in class on the day of a test. All tests must be taken in class or at a proctored site. If for some reason you're unable to be present, please contact me in writing a minimum of 3 days prior to the test to make arrangement to take the test. So if you know some reason that you're going to have to work that night of the test, let me know, and I can try to make an arrangement for you to take it at the school testing center, or if you plan to take it at a testing site outside of the school, I would like you to contact me, and we'll talk about how to set that up. If you do not do that, you're not in the class on the day of the test, that's going to have to be an extreme circumstance where hopefully you're, got something going on that's, like I said, really extreme, and very rare circumstances will allow you to take the test after the due date. In this course, let me go on here to calculator. You will be able to use a calculator throughout the whole course. So just a basic scientific calculator. You can use a calculator on all of the homework, the quizzes, and the tests. And one thing I really list here is be careful. Oftentimes people, when they use calculators, make careless mistakes. So when you're using a calculator, think about the answer you got. Does it seem reasonable? Just a couple other pieces here before we finish up. As far as an email policy, I did list my email earlier in the syllabus, but in the subject line I asked that you put MATH1500 online, so it just tells me that you're sending this as a student from my online section. Clearly state what you want in the body of the email, and then also make sure you sign with your name. If you need special accommodations, we do have a disability services director that you can contact. As far as getting some additional help for the course, there were a lot of resources within my math lab as far as the help me solve this, view an example, ask my instructor, the animation, videos, my math lab, PowerPoints, various different things there. Why this keeps popping up. Besides that, we have some tutoring centers available on campus. One of them is the Math Center and the Learning Resource Center. I'm not sure at this time what their hours are going to be for the summer, but the phone numbers are listed here, and then they're also located up on second floor G 241 and 227 on the Brooklyn Park campus, right next door to each other. Let's see, the very last thing I say here is, make sure that the homework you do, or actually I should say all of the work you do, is 100% your work. So, it really doesn't help if you have somebody else do your homework or do your quizzes for you, because when it comes down to it, the tests are what counts for the majority of your grade. So, and the tests are, you're going to need to be in class taking those tests. So, when you're going through the course, make sure it's you that's learning the material, you that's doing the material. For the most part, I think that's it at this time. If you have any questions, please email me. My email was listed at the top of this page here, jennifer.joa@hennepintech.edu. Otherwise, I'll plan to see you on June 25th at 4 p.m. to take the first test. And like I said, anything along the way, send me an email. I will be on campus at various hours. If you'd like to set up a time to meet with me, we can certainly do that. Otherwise, have a great semester.